So this is the third and final race for me of Tennessee Knockout 2020. So we had the prologue, then the amateur Saturday race in the morning, and the amateur race that I qualified for in the afternoon. And I had barely qualified for the afternoon race, so I was in one of the last rows. I think it was row 11. There was maybe a row or two behind me. I don't even know if there was a complete 2 rows behind me. So relatively small number of bikes. And there's only about, by the time I got back to my campsite, I think there was an hour and a half I had to get my bike ready and rest and recharge and do whatever I could to be ready for the afternoon race. And I had given the first race pretty much everything I had. My goal was make it to race 2, and I'd be as happy as I'm gonna be with that, right? Of course, everybody wants to win and qualify for the pro race on Sunday and all that, but being realistic, that probably wasn't gonna happen for me. I was already worn out at the beginning, and through the first, I'm struggling here already off the start, and I'm sitting, I'm paddling. Normally this is stuff that I would stand up and just roll through. A little bit of momentum, a little bit of speed gets you a long way, especially on a 450, and I just didn't have either of those things at all, even off the start. By the time I got done with the little circle grass track at the beginning of the race, I was already starting to cramp up, and the creek section right after that, my right leg was done, and the transition from sitting to standing was almost impossible.
Oh, my hands are completely cramped up, both of them. No clutch control. Left leg cramped up, can't put pressure on the peg or squeeze my knees together. Great. It's gonna be a long one.
You can hear my little onboard explanation real time how I'm feeling there. And that pretty much sums it up. I was cramping up sitting in my chair at the campsite, so I knew it was going to be bad. I always seem to have a problem with cramping up towards the end of long races or the second race of the day. I don't know what it is. I drink a lot of water. I think I've got enough electrolytes. I'm not quite sure what causes it. I know other people get it some too. I seem to get it in more places at once. So I'll have like my hands cramping up and my legs cramping up kind of at the same time. And I can stand, but I have no strength in my legs when I'm standing and they're cramped. And if I sit, the cramp just wants to tighten my leg closed more. And you lose all control, and it's pretty painful too, the leg ones are. So I try to stand, but I don't really have any control, so I end up hanging on tighter, and then wears my hands out more. And there's got to be a good solution for it, probably better riding technique, but I have not figured that out yet. So I have tried to start preloading before races with water, basically water and electrolytes, rather than just drinking a lot the day before or the day of, and try to start drinking a lot of water a couple days before and see if that helps. I sweat a lot. I get done with an event like this it's muddy, but there's no puddles. My boots are like I've been standing in water after this. So you can see, if you were looking for a video of, heroic riding, you're not getting it here. I just got my neck caught in a vine climbing this hill, right? That's really what you want climbing a hill when you're dead tired, is to suddenly have a vine snag you around the neck. So there's no heroic antics in this video. I'm not, pulling a Graham Jarvis over any of this stuff. I'm just trying to make it as far as I can, really. I went into it knowing that, and all these guys around me, you know, we were starting within a row of each other. So we were all sitting there talking about how dead we were and how far we thought we might make it. So we were all kind of in the same boat of, let's just see how far we go, you know. Just keep moving, don't stop, don't give up. As long as you're moving until you time out, that is, I can be okay with that, right? If I give up and I've still got a half hour left in the race, that's not okay. But if I'm done and the race is over and there's no way, you know, maybe I'm 12 miles into the 15 miles and the race is over, I'm not going to keep riding the race just to finish, you know, 2 hours later with Sweet pushing me. I can call it quits then, which is what I ended up having to do. You can see I'm not attacking anything. Neither are the guys around me, really. Like, we're paddling through all this stuff because dropping a bike is even more energy. And when I get tired, I hang on tighter. So my girlfriend was here, she saw me go through this, and you can see from the video how quickly I go from standing to sitting when I think something either might go wrong or when I think sitting's the right thing to do. There's no in between because that's what makes my legs cramp up. If I'm sitting, all my weight's on the seat and my legs, I'll try to relax. If I'm standing, my legs are pretty straight. The in-between was killer for me. Maybe I just need to do more squats. So this hill was a struggle for me on the first lap, and the race course was a little bit different between the morning race and the afternoon race. There was some stuff cut out, there was some harder stuff added. I don't think any of the stuff that I saw was like dramatically harder than the morning race was. In fact, I almost felt like the afternoon race was a little bit easier. Like, it was grueling, for sure, obviously. But there wasn't any, like, massive obstacle that was just a game changer and a deal breaker for all of us amateurs. And they probably did that on purpose because they figure everybody running the afternoon race ran the morning race too. So we're already all 2.5 to 3 hours into riding, except for the quick guys who made it through in an hour and a half in the morning. So I was stuck on this hill for a long time, and it's the same as my other videos. I kind of cut out some of the pushing and resting and whatnot. And really, I'm just trying to find a way to get a little momentum. As soon as I get moving, I can usually stay moving, but if I get stopped, getting moving again can be really, really hard. And I'm so tired that even when I do get moving, I don't have it in me to stand up, lean forward and give it some throttle, right? I'm just sitting kind of, let's maintain a little momentum and paddle along, and that's tiring in its own right, but I couldn't do any more than that. See, some of these climbs were just endless too. You just wind your way up, 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 and there's just more and more rocks. And when you're doing what I'm doing, paddling, you don't have enough speed when something catches you by surprise. You can hear me hit it here. As much as I'm gonna hit it, on this lap worn out, I still didn't make it. Momentum makes all the difference though. So actually after this, and I may have mentioned it in the other videos, the 450 actually started making metal. I actually killed the big end rod bearing on the connecting rod, and I think it was just because of all the clutch slipping. Instead of being on-off, I was using the clutch to try to keep traction a lot, and keeping the revs low and all that, trying to keep the engine cool. And it thinned the oil out because it was so hot. And I found out when I did my teardown and rebuild that the oil pressure relief valve spring, 4-stroke, it's got, pumps and everything, 2-stroke guys don't have to deal with. The pressure relief valve spring had relaxed. And it's supposed to be, you know, the minimum spec is 24.5 millimeters. Mine was 20 millimeters. That's, you know, nearly a fifth shorter than it should be, 20% less than it should be.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm beat.
You what?
I'm beat.
Me too. I think we all are.
I'm not riding for a year. It's fucked me up.
Yeah. If I get stuck once or twice real good, I'm gonna be dead.
Has anybody tried that left route right here?
I only went right.
You can hear we're, you know, sitting here, and these are the same guys I've now been riding with for, you know, the first hour of the race. We know we're not super far, we're probably 7 miles in at this point. And at this point, like, yeah, they're your competitors, but you want them to make it too. You know, none of us are going to win, but if they make it, that gives you the confidence that you can make it. It sounds silly, but to me, that gives me a lot of confidence. If I see one of these guys make it, who I've been riding with the whole race, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I got this. I can save my energy for the next thing. If they don't make it, then it gets in my head. And this hill is a struggle, a massive struggle. It's a decent chunk of time in this video. It was a really long chunk of time in real life because I'd stop and I'd sit there and let the bike cool off, let myself cool off. Because just, you know, bulldogging through it, I'm not going to make it. I'm just wasting energy. If I can make it 10 feet, stop, rest, make it 10 feet, stop, rest, that's better to me. A couple of these guys went right up that hill, and there was like a tree down or something up there, and it wasn't any better than the line we were trying to take. It's just so slippery. It's just so slippery that I was waiting, hoping for kind of a clear line to hit it with a little bit of momentum. You can see even these guys on 2 strokes are struggling. I got the advantage of long legs, but still.
Like it! Oh, this is ridiculous.
So we're both stuck here. You know, this is with the grippy cheater tires, right? They're not helping at all.
There.
Well, I'm sure they're helping some, but at the time, I definitely felt like it was just as bad as it would have been with a normal knobby. There's just no grip because all the bikes in front of us had pulled the dirt onto these rocks.
Inches.
I'm already halfway up the hill at this point, right?
Inches.
Inches. I'm just sitting there thinking, inches, you know, can I make this an inch at a time, 5 inches at a time?
Totally locked up.
And the answer was yes, I made it, but I definitely was thinking this was going to be the end for me when I first got stuck.
I'm so tired. Like, don't even know how to ride this shit when I'm this tired. I'm halfway through. I feel like the end of TKO1 already. Totally gassed. Cramping up. Struggling to control the bike.
Now you can tell in the video, like I'm not really breathing hard. I mean, I'm sweaty as all get out and overheated, but I'm not like panting for breath. My problem is I get cramped up, but two, I just get physically, weak. I can't hold on. I can't. I don't know. It's like I run out of muscle endurance way before I run out of cardio.
How bad's traffic been?
For me, not bad at all.
Okay.
I don't know. There's not very many people behind me.
Okay.
I'm pretty close to the end. So I'm just making it through, not being fast.
Are you gonna go for it?
Oh yeah, of course I am. I might not make it, but I'm going for it.
What's up, RBG 34?
Okay. I'll make it right at the top. I will drink a lot of water.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
I talked to some more people when I was down there at the bottom, and I spent more time down there than the video shows, so I had a little bit of a burst of energy to make it this far up. Again, this is uphill swamp. Thank goodness, got a halfway run at it. Just trying to find traction and try not to drop the bike, really.
Oh yeah, I see it. But I gotta have enough energy to do it.
That was the one spot in the whole afternoon race that I dropped my bike. It was the one time I went down. I got stuck a lot of times. I came close a couple times. That's the only time the handlebars touch the ground.
Whoa!
You all right?
I'm good. You? Woo!
You can see all of us are just flailing legs and arms, And every once in a while, that back tire would hook up a little bit. Here, I got to run and scatter the herd of spectators. But man, the high line just gives you a chance.
High line? Yeah.
Right to the right. Try to stay in that line right there.
Sometimes attitude is everything. You can see I am not in the attacking mode at all.
We'll see.
I needed something to make me mad,
see.
and then I'd be attacking, but
Thanks, babe.
I was in the plod along mode, which is not. I mean, I knew I wasn't being competitive. I think at this point, I didn't know for sure, but you can see the watch on my handlebars. I knew how far in I was. There's mile markers. And I knew what time it was, and the math wasn't working out in my favor for finishing before you timed out after 2.5 hours. But I wasn't timed out yet, so I was going to keep going. The TKO is an oddball one a little bit because there's no woods checks, so you either make a lap or you don't, and if you make half of another lap, it doesn't give you anything. So while I do have a score for this race, I think it was based entirely on my finish in the morning race among the DNFers of the afternoon race.
Just sweating my butt off. I'm almost there.
You're almost out of this killer.
Well, I know we did this on the first lap too, but it wasn't this bad. I cruised up it on the first lap.
About 1,000 times that wasn't the first time.
There's more holes from people spinning their tires.
It turned into a little bit of a rocky single track, and then there was just a gnarly spot that everybody, there were 20 of us back there, tired, worn out, you know, I made it through until there's actually a course worker sitting there. And I made it through until the course worker said, you're done. It doesn't matter if you make it any further or not. You got 2 miles to go, and you timed out 2 minutes ago. So this is Tennessee Knockout 2020 on the Husky 450, and I'll be back again, assuming I get signed up in time on the 300. I really want to try it on a slightly better suited bike, and just some of the skills picked up from having done this once. I know it to practice a little bit. So just try to keep working, keep getting better, and see if I can come back and at least finish the second race. I'd love to finish the second race under the time limit, not time out. But that'll probably be my goal for TKO 2021.